Hello and welcome to my video for this wonderful Sharp music system, one owner from new, dating from late 1970s, early 1980s. It's absolutely fabulous design with its original stand for the units themselves, which are an RS-1255 stereo tuner cassette deck and the Sharp stereo amplifier SM1255. Original speakers that were sold with this system, and the speaker brackets to mount on the wall, and the original stand, which is, I've never seen one before, so rare, the original chrome and black steel stand that would have been sold originally with this unit, probably for in excess of £200, I'd imagine. It's got the original operating manual and the manual for the RS-1255 stereo deck there. It's full of wonderful little features, but what I really want you to do if you're interested in purchasing this is just learn a little bit more about this particular stereo, the cosmetic condition of it, the faults and the good points about this stereo. So when we buy something like a MIDI system from the 1980s or 90s, I've noticed that it's so difficult because somebody will tell you that something works, but you actually start to use it and it works but badly, or there's crackle on the volume, or the tape runs slowly, and what you've actually bought as working doesn't work at all, and because you thought it did, it's very frustrating. So I just think that with a video you can learn a little bit about what you're actually buying. So firstly we'll start with the condition of the speakers, and you've got a little nick here, but overall, like I say, it's a one owner from new system. I've put that bracket on it just so you can see how that bracket works. We'll come to that in a little while. That speaker's in really nice condition. It's got a couple of little knocks, but could do with a polish. I haven't polished any of this system. This is actually the condition that I bought it from the first owner. And I haven't put any products on it, and I'm not going to. If you want to, that's fine. You'll probably get this, if it's aluminium or brushed steel, I'm not sure, this wonderful gold fascia. You probably get that really to come up, but it's nice as it is, and you can see how well it's been looked after. It's got this pull down panel with your controls. You're listening to this is the actual radio playing at the moment through those speakers. These are your controls underneath that panel. I mean, I've been an enthusiast of stereo for 30 odd years. I'm not an expert in any sense. I'm actually a musician, but over the years I've had so many different things. This is the first one of these I've ever had, and it's absolutely gorgeous. There's the vents for the top. It doesn't feel too hot. The stand, it can be orientated with this amplifier above the preamp and cassette, or the other way around. You have to set this up with the this panel with the screws in from the back, otherwise it just sits high, and then you've got this top bracket that retains the whole thing. There we go. It's really simple, beautiful design. So how does it work? What's it like? What are its faults? So the aerial's plugged into it at the moment, and it's I haven't really spent any time setting the FM aerial up. This is FM stereo, and you can see it's got the tuning signal, FM stereo there. Try and find radio 2 or something. I think that probably is radio 2. And you can see already that we're not even touching that volume dial. This is 22 watts RMS, not max. RMS, about 33, 35 watts maximum per channel. So that's a genuine 22 watts per RMS per channel, which is a decent output and a lovely clean sound. Now, one thing that I did notice about it when I was playing around with it, that the fader can make it a little bit intermittent. The other controls echo. I have no idea what that does. Balance works faultlessly. You can hear a little crackle there where I run over to the left. The treble, great. Now the bass, I'm not going to touch it because when I moved it before, I felt that it gave this speaker a little bit of flutter and I didn't like it. Do you know what? I'm just going to show you what I mean. There we go, so you can see. And this is what I'm on about, that people don't show you things like this when they sell you something that's 43 years old, you know, and I'm going to show you. So, but what I found is once you've got it settled and it's not rumbling, just leave it alone and the sound goes away. That rumble goes away. But make sure the rumble goes away because it really does flutter that speaker. You've got this lovely VU dial up here, so we'll crank the sound up and you'll see. So you'll see that getting louder, showing the decibels. So what have we got here? It's works with metal tapes, amazingly enough. Well ahead of its time, chrome, ferrous, normal. It's got all this APLD stuff that I think is something to do with pausing at certain moments in your cassette. You'll find all about that in there. I have no idea how that works. The cassette is okay. Luckily it's got an auxiliary so you can put your mini disc, your phone and anything that you want, which I'm just about to show you through the system as well. Now the cassette itself binds up and screws up tapes. So I was playing it yesterday, it played for a while, it was absolutely fine, and then it screwed a lovely Brazilian album up that I put in it. And what I've noticed is that one of the rollers is just seeming to not spin fast enough, which is causing a little bit of a watch it go around. I'll put it on the tape side and I put in a tape that I can afford to crunch up, and it's obviously playing perfectly and not going to misbehave for me. So I'll carry on and I'll wait till it crunches this tape up. And what it starts to do, one of the when you take this cover off and look what's going on underneath in the capstan or the pinch rollers, you can just see it starting to snag, maybe something sticky in there, and then boom, it eats your tape, frustratingly enough. So while that's eating your tapes, you can actually just get your own Sony Walkman, plug it into the back auxiliary and run it through the auxiliary. So I'll show you how to do that now. So we'll turn that selector to the auxiliary. That's the tuner again, and there we go. We've got the Walkman playing now, and it sounds just as good as what was playing just a second, which is still running fine. But trust me, the moment that you buy this, it's going to eat your tape. So it needs to go to a service engineer to replace all the belts, and whenever they were done last, I don't know, but I'm sure that a good service engineer will replace the belts and make sure that everything is running freely so you don't get that snagging. I want to spend a little bit of time on how this speaker bracket works, because they were sold with these brackets and this rack mounting. I've never seen another one of these rack mountings in my life. Now I'm just going to pause it so I can turn the speaker around. So I'll show you from the side. You can see that these little rubber feet that don't damage the sides. They sort of locate into this little slot perfectly. Now it's designed so it just catches on this the speaker input fascia plastic, and then that stops it falling through. So once you've got the bracket mounted, sorry, I had to run off and find the mounting. There we go. So everything that the original owner had is kept. This is the other bracket for the other side. You'll need to orientate these 45 degrees to get it to do what this one's doing, and you just set everything up with a little Allen key here, if you want them mounted. So there you go. Obviously had a little bit of paint on the mountings, and one for the bottom, one for the top. Mount that onto your wall, and then you've got